10. So there, we are officially recording. Yay! So cool. So we'll give it one more minute and then we'll dive in to this whole thing. I'm so excited.
I have hi. Okay,
yeah. You're good.
I can say something, but I'm like, no, don't say it.
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. Yay. Okay, so it is 10. So we're gonna start. This thing is recording. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna introduce you. This is my very best friend of since junior high. This is Patricia, but I call her Trish. That's my name for her. So
Hello.
and she is fantastic. I'm so excited about today because first of all, it's just really special for me to be able to introduce you to one of my lifelong friends. She's super special to me, but it's really cool because I've been able to watch this journey, like her health journey from, like I said, from junior high. Like we've been through this thing. We laugh and joke about how in high school, like we prioritized our health, even though we really didn't do it very well.
Yeah.
We didn't eat great at all, but we would meet each other at the gym at 5 a.m. before school started. And we were just kind of workout buddies, even though we really didn't know how to be truly healthy. So we're learning, and I'm excited about today's call because I know that we've really learned a lot, and Trish has been through a lot with her health, and this topic is really going to be, I think, powerful because she's going to explain her experience with this, and hopefully our goal with this call is ultimately not to scare anybody with this, of course, but ultimately just to really give you a glimpse into what Candida is and kind of what you can do to heal from it if it's something you're experiencing, what you should do kind of to start healing and that sort of thing. So we just want to, if we can help one person today who's just like really struggling with their health and going, I don't know what's going on. I've tried everything and I'm still miserable. I've still got all these issues. And so hopefully today, if you are watching and that's where you're at, hopefully you aren't experiencing this, but if you are, you'll have some sort of an answer and then kind of some direction to go. So that's the whole point of this call. So My name is Emily Copeland. If you don't know who I am, that's very great. And I'm excited you're on this call. And this is Patricia, and we're just excited you're on. So we're going to dive into this topic. So this is the topic of Candida. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Candida, or it's called candidiasis, I believe. Okay. I'm not sure. So it's once you have the bacteria in your system so much, it's considered candidiasis. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So So there's a couple different levels of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So first of all, before we really get into what it is, I want you to share your health history because I know you've been on a roller coaster ever since I've known you. And I know your health has landed you in the hospital at times and it's just been kind of all over the place. So explain a little bit of that. Maybe, just let us know kind of what has gone on throughout your journey.
Okay. So that was a long list to come up with. I've had health issues since I was about 5 years old that I can remember. It started at 5 I remember insane migraines. Like I was prescribed Motrin 3 pills 3 times a day at the age of 5 years old. And that's really when I started taking prescription pills. And I got stomach issues pretty much right away starting then. I had anxiety and depression as a young child, and I lived through that as a young adult as well. I had fibromyalgia, which some doctors don't know how to explain it or why it's caused. It's just pain in your body in different parts for no reason. And a lot of times stress would bring that on. I had blood clots when I was 18, and that led to having an upper rib bone removed. So being under the anesthesia and on blood thinners for 6 months, I definitely had aftermath effects of that. I had vaginal polyps, which I'm not really sure how to explain what they are, but I did have to have surgery for that and get those removed. I had cystic acne for a few years when I was a young adult, all over my face and my back. A lot of that, I believe, was due to nutrition, absolutely, but I didn't know how to explain where that came from out of nowhere. I dealt with chronic IBS and chronic constipation for about 7 straight years, where I would take myself to the hospital just to get some relief. My stomach would be like stabbing pain almost every day. I didn't know what to do. And migraines were still going on. So I had migraines for about a good 20 years. Uh, I had chronic inflammation in my stomach, which is pretty much what led me to this point, as well as endometriosis. Those two things are the biggest factors in what led me to where I am today. I had surgery for endometriosis. It'll be 2 years next week. And that was probably one of the toughest recoveries ever. I know it came back almost immediately, and it led to about 4 or 5 months of having pelvic physical therapy as well. So here we are.
Wow. It's amazing. I mean, I remember meeting you at the hospital because of the fibromyalgia and the pain being so bad and severe. And I remember those surgeries and the blood thinners and I mean, everything. It's definitely been a roller coaster. And I know you've tried, you've gone vegan. So you are a vegan. You eat that. And then you also, I know you've done all kinds of things. You started by going gluten-free. Am I right? Or where did you start with kind of eliminating, trying to figure out nutritionally what to do?
I went gluten-free thanks to you. Actually, you're the one that I didn't even know it existed. And it was 2 years ago in November that I went gluten-free.
Okay.
And then that led about 4 months later to going soy and dairy-free.
Okay.
And then about 4 months after that, I went meat-free. So all within less than a year, I cut all of those things out of my diet.
Wow.
And then I cut corn out. I've been processed food free, fast food free, pop energy drink free, none of that for about 2 years now.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's great. It's great. I feel a ton better. A ton.
Yes. Yes. And I know a lot of people watching who watch this are going to think, holy smokes, how would I ever eliminate all of that? But you
Yeah.
took steps to do that and then you
Yes.
adjusted to it, right?
Yes, that's the most important thing. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now if these 2 years didn't happen. And over this process, well, when I finally got to this point and I discovered Candida, I thought to myself, there's no way anyone in the world could just do this cold turkey. And I thank God with all my heart that I took these steps to get here because I couldn't have dove in the way I dove in. I found out about it 1 week and 6 days later I started.
Yeah.
It's only because of doing the things that I did. And people ask me all the time, what do you eat? How do you eat? Where do you get your protein? All these things. But
Right.
you learn to adapt and you learn what's best for you.
Yes. And if you follow Patricia, which you need to do now, so at the end, I'm going to have you give your handles for everything. Because I'm telling you what, she makes me want to like get in my car and drive to her house every time she makes something. I'm not kidding you that she makes the best looking food and it is all earth food and clean and super healthy for you. So anyways, but she's found a great way to make up food. I mean, she makes every meal that way and it's so cool. So anyways, I'll have you do that at the end. So let's go into Candida a little bit more. So obviously all of these things, what we just talked about, all of these health issues, that's what kind of made you, you've just been searching for years on how to fix this. So where did you hear about Candida and like, how did you kind of think maybe that's what's going on?
I actually heard about Candida about 2 years ago. So I knew it existed. A friend of mine was put in the hospital due to it. And I didn't think too much about it. She told me her story. I never even considered it being something I had. I don't know why. I just didn't. It's funny that she told me about that because shortly after I watched like a 45-minute video and was introduced to probiotics, I didn't start taking those. I just knew about it. So what led me to getting to this point was a few months back, I was connected with a holistic doctor, which I'm not saying to give up on the medical world, but I personally had lost all faith in the medical world. So I was searching for a different answer, and I'd done all these things on my own for 2 years, and it seemed like every once in a while I would have a spell where for like 3 weeks I would be just insanely bloated. Like I looked 5 months pregnant. And it would go away. Right. But all of a sudden it was like 3 or 4 months straight where it just didn't go away. Every day my clothes didn't fit. It just wasn't going away. And so I was introduced to a holistic doctor.
Cool.
He did a 7-day sugar detox through Facebook. And I thought, well, what the heck? Maybe this is what I need to just connect with people. Mm-hmm. The only sugar in my diet literally was chocolate.
Wow.
And I had given up sugar and I didn't even realize it until then that I never eat sugar. But just eliminating those few things for just a few days, I could see a change. And so I reached out to her personally. And
Cool.
started talking, and immediately she told me, based on all of the prescription pills I'd taken throughout my entire life, consistently,
Hmm.
all the fast food, I grew up eating pretty bad,
Okay.
and just the issues that I've had with endometriosis and my stomach being so bloated all the time, she said immediately, it's Candida, and she said, but I think that you should do a liver cleanse first.
Wow.
Because when you have an imbalance in your hormones, you should do a liver cleanse. It'll really help. So we decided we were going to speak a week later. And when we did, just within that week, the few things that had gone on that I talked to her about, she said, I think you have a really severe case. Let's do the Candida cleanse first.
Wow.
So that was it. We spoke one night. She gave me all the details I needed to know. She told me to go buy a book. I bought it. I read it. And I started 6 days later.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's amazing. So besides, what is it that causes? Like, what's the belief of what causes Candida? I know you mentioned highly processed foods for a long time, medication. What else?
So Candida is in every single person in the world. It's in all of us. It's an unfriendly bacteria. But when we're doing the right things, it's balanced out and we don't suffer from it. It can come out in many forms. For me, it was the inflammation. It can be vaginal infections for women.
Right.
It can come out in your mouth. People have a lot of mouth issues. And there's so many ways, but Candida can be an underlying cause for cancer. It even talks about AIDS, how
Mm.
it can be, connected to that, constipation, mouth sores, fungus, like
Wow.
all of these things that people don't realize just the bacteria in your body can cause if it has an overgrowth, if it's affected enough.
Wow, that is so crazy. Wow, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
I picture like an army of like get good bacteria and bad, and they're like, like that's how I see it in your body. And it's just overflowing and filling you up with toxins.
Wow. Okay. And this is really from a lifetime of because I know I grew up eating fast food and processed food, and I have a huge sweet tooth, which I don't know if anybody else here does, but I do. It is really bad. I know I've been addicted to sugar for a long time, and so I have to be very mindful of that. And so I know that this is not something that is for just a few people. I mean, I think this probably affects a lot more people than we realize, and we don't know really what's going on, and we kind of chalk it up to if maybe we need to be gluten free, start eating gluten free foods, or but I definitely think the more that you and I have talked about it, that it's something that it definitely needs more attention to look into it. Maybe this is a possibility for
It does.
issues.
Absolutely. And ever since I really discovered my endometriosis, I thought, you know what, maybe this is it. Every day I feel bad. Maybe this is it. How do I get rid of it? And I realized it's the Candida that's caused the endometriosis. And
Sure.
I've read that the majority of the people in the world that have it don't know and will never know
Wow.
because doctors don't believe in it. And it's a nutrition thing. And
Yes.
it's something that we need to dig deeper in and make people more aware of.
Sure. Now, and we hear about this leaky gut thing as well. Is that how
Absolutely.
does that
Yep.
tie into it?
Yes. Well, it's from what I've read, basically, it's a symptom of Candida.
Oh
It's
wow.
anything gastrointestinal. You have that's going to be mainly your answer right there.
Okay.
So, but it is baby steps. Absolutely. Leaky gut. I don't think that I experienced leaky gut, but I did have the IBS and constipation.
Hmm.
Really, it's just another name for Candida, in my opinion. From what I've learned, all of these names are reasons to take medicine and just give it another name when really you have this one issue that can take care of it.
Which is nutrition and what we're putting in our bodies, right? And I know
Yeah.
stress, like you mentioned, stress plays a huge role in
Yes.
that. And even when I was doing a little bit of research on Candida, I know anxiety for people who experience a lot of anxiety, that this can be a trigger or make your symptoms worse. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
It can. And I think I'm finding that out firsthand. My anxiety has changed over the years drastically, but through this cleanse, you never know how I'm going to feel.
sure.
And sometimes I just have a bad day and I can feel that my body physically is feeling worse if I'm mentally feeling worse. So I
Sure.
need to put myself in a place that's better. you know.
That makes sense. Yeah. So tell us about this cleanse. So that's what we've heard you mention that. So tell us about this cleanse. What are you doing? What does that look like?
Okay, so it is a probiotic alkaline cleanse.
Okay.
So what that means is you need to fuel your body with probiotic foods.
Okay.
I do take a probiotic every morning. I don't believe I will for the rest of my life, but right now while trying to kick this, it's good to do that.
Cool.
Fermented foods, anything that's been fermented. So kefir, I don't do any dairy, and they don't recommend dairy for the first 3 months. So I take coconut kefir, which I have to show everyone.
Oh, good.
It's this
Okay.
Inner Eco. It's a wonderful, wonderful product.
Awesome.
And sauerkraut.
Okay.
So I eat probably like a half a cup to a cup a day.
Okay.
Thinking probiotic, you want anything fermented, really. It's going to be the best for you. Yogurts, things like that.
Okay.
But not within the first 3 months. It's a 3 to 9 month cleanse, minimum 90 days.
Okay. Minimum 90 days to restore your body, to get it back to.
Yep. So, and then
really.
when you do alkaline foods, basically there's alkaline and acidic.
Okay.
And if your body is too acidic, that's when illness comes on and toxins enter our body.
Okay.
So they talk about following my book and my doctor, my holistic doctor. It's a 80-20 rule where you eat 80% alkaline and 20% acidic.
Wow.
So even fruits. The only fruits that I have in my diet right now are lemon, lime, cranberry, and avocado.
Wow.
And the occasional green apple.
Okay.
So that's the basis of the diet. I cut out all coffee, chocolate, wine, and those are the hardest for sure.
Yes.
Vegetables, I cannot eat all vegetables. I cannot have vegetables such as carrots and parsnips. They're too high in sugar.
Okay.
So basically we're cutting out any form of sugar and yeast. Something I forgot to mention. Candida is a yeast overgrowth.
Okay.
Bad bacteria. So when you eat sugar or yeast, it just feeds your candida. Like, it is the hungriest thing in the world, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow.
Wow.
So we're trying to strip the body of all of those things first.
Okay.
So no grains. I can have quinoa.
Okay.
I have to sprout it first. It has to be sprouted. So I have my own sprouting jar, which is very easy to do at home, and I suggest it anyway. You're going to eat in the most nutritious form you can if you sprout your food.
Okay.
No nuts, so except for pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and almonds, and those have to be sprouted as well.
Okay.
No beans. So as a vegan, no nuts, beans, or grains. It's very hard to get protein right now.
Okay.
So I'm definitely digging deep there.
Right.
No starches, no potatoes. So I use squash. Squash.
Which, like I said earlier, your meals look so good. Like, people maybe thinking like, what do you eat? What do you eat? But I'm telling you, when I look at your pictures, I'm like, oh my word, it looks so good and so filling. Like, what you're eating is so filling, and it looks so good.
Yeah, you have to train your body to eat when you need to eat. You might not feel hungry, but you need to train it to eat the right things at the right time.
Right.
And get creative, because salads get boring. Quinoa gets boring. You have to get creative. And I might only be able to use these handful of ingredients, but I'm going to try everything I can to do them differently.
Absolutely.
So, and my best suggestion is, and to make it easy, is for these 90 days, suck it up as best you can and create some sort of routine.
Okay.
So I wake up every single morning, and these are my babies, okay? This is what I do. I take a tablespoon of this. It's a fermented Candida herbal blend.
Okay.
So it has turmeric, oregano, bark, garlic, peppermint, fennel, and echinacea.
Wow.
This is helping kill the Candida. I take a tablespoon of my coconut kefir.
Okay.
And a tablespoon of my dong quai.
Wow.
This is a fermented drink made up of oats, rice, barley, wheat, which I've been gluten-free for 2 years. So it's insane that I can do this.
Right.
It shows that my body is building a tolerance for the foods that I couldn't have anymore. And this helps balance hormones.
Okay.
So I take a teaspoon or a tablespoon every morning.
How do they
And I have
taste? That's, I think, everybody's question.
this tastes like old celery. It's
Okay.
disgusting. It is disgusting. But you have to keep
But
your
it's
goal
worth
in
it.
mind. You keep
Yeah.
your goal in mind, okay? This, I don't know how to describe it. It tastes like what's in it. It's disgusting.
Okay.
But the coconut kefir is okay. I take a probiotic as well.
Okay.
So doing this, it helps me drink water. 12 ounces of water every morning, first thing. Your body's hydrated. So these are the things that you do.
Okay.
And then I drink lemon water. That's my coffee.
Okay.
Warm lemon water. And
And
then
go ahead.
what
Sorry. No,
you
go ahead.
just you create a routine. You have the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner almost every day, and just try to be creative within those boundaries. If you're going to have roasted veggies for dinner, do something different with them,
Sure. Sure.
to make those 90 days a lot easier.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, because I'm now moving back home, I now get to see Trisha a lot more than like the last 8 years, how that's been. It's terrible. I haven't seen her. But finally, and I can tell you, like I tell her this every time I see her, her skin, like your skin is amazing. You can tell right now, but like in person, it's crazy. Like your skin has literally never looked better than it does right now.
Thank you.
Seriously. And it's amazing, isn't it? How when
Yes.
you're fueling your body from the inside out, how it truly heals your body in every way when you're doing this. And I wanted to kind of go off that, so you have the woman you were working with, the holistic doctor you've been working with said that you have more of an extreme case is what she has seen. So,
Yep.
and it can range anywhere from just minor to extreme, obviously, from what I'm assuming.
Right. And it depends how it's coming out in your body too.
Okay.
And real fast, I just want to say, Andrea McLaughlin
Okay.
on Facebook, incredible. She has been the biggest, greatest help and can help any one of you out there who are listening to this. Absolutely.
Sure.
But yes, there are definitely different ways that it's going to come out in your body. And I think for me, it had been building up since I was a child, since I started getting those migraines and stomach issues.
Mm-hmm.
I was on pills and I was eating awful fast food at a young age. And I think that finally it took a hold of my body, and no matter what I was doing, it didn't help.
Nothing helps.
It helped in many ways. My migraines are gone. My skin diseases are gone. My fibromyalgia is gone.
Amazing.
I'm helping my food out. Like these things are gone due to my nutrition changes.
Sure.
But I was still having issues.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so we'll kind of wrap up because we've heard about like what your results have been, just how things are clearing up, how you feel better. The bloating is non-existent, would you say, at this point right now, or do you still experience some bloating?
Yeah, so two things. My bloating is pretty much gone. I do take a turmeric capsule, my own, that I make with every single meal, and turmeric is really good for inflammation.
Okay.
That's helped a ton too. My bloating is down like I'm never bloated, barely ever. I've probably lost it's insane.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's today's day 59, and I feel comfortable in my own skin, and I can probably say that for the first time in my life.
Wow, that's amazing.
The number one goal in mind is beating this endometriosis, and I officially think that I'm well on my way.
That's awesome.
I haven't taken any pills to get through the pain since I started this, and I am on my 3rd month of that, and barely any pain, barely any bloating. And that's incredible to say because I used to be prescribed painkillers for the pain, and I couldn't get through my day without them. So to know that I can go to work and do these things during that time of the month is an absolute sign that this is helping.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
As we wrap up, what would your biggest piece of advice be for anybody who's struggling with any of these things, the bloating, the constipation, the irritable bowel syndrome, anything, fibromyalgia, anything related to, just issues that they can't really explain with their body. And maybe today they're hearing something that this could possibly be a case of Candida for them. What would you recommend for them? What do they do from here?
The first thing that I believe anyone has to do is take a step back from what they're used to.
Okay.
And believe with all of your heart and your mind and your soul in natural healing.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in that because it's real. It might take a little bit more time than taking a pill, but it's not a Band-Aid that's going to cover it up. And, it's going to work, and you just have to believe in it. And if you believe, that's the first step. You can do anything else after that. Absolutely. And it's
Awesome.
important to do your research and to read things like that.
Sure. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, this was so beneficial. I think, for me, I've been trying to learn more about it. I've had people asking me, and I just didn't have the answers. But I thought, what better than to go to someone who's actually going through the cleanse, who's experiencing that healing, who's been through it. And honestly, you of all people that I know have been through the ringer with your health. And it's like to see you right now, how healthy you are is just, it's really awesome. And so it's worth discussing.
Right.
And so, will you give us your handles? What are your handles on Instagram and Facebook? How can people reach you?
First off, I've never heard of the word handles, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
so I'm just going to tell you my name. I'm guessing that's what that is.
That's what that.
I'm on Instagram at Patricia Tamara O.
Okay.
So I don't know, should I spell that out or?
Yeah, go ahead and spell that out just in case.
Okay. Well, Patricia with a C, and then Tamara and the letter O.
Perfect.
And then on Facebook, you can find me at Patricia Ode, ODE.
Okay.
And yeah, please reach out. I would love to help in any way. And I would love to connect you with my holistic doctor as well, Andrea.
Absolutely. This was so awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. No, thanks for giving us your time. And again, if anybody has any questions, please reach out to Trish or myself, send us an email or a message on Facebook, whatever. And we would love to discuss it more with you, or, at least point you in the right direction, hopefully.
Yes,
is the goal.
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys,
everyone.
And thank you. Thanks, Janine. We'll see you guys later. Thanks, Trish, so much.
Bye. Have a great day.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye.